4% of your income. Your company matches 4%, you put away 4%, and you can see in the numbers here that when you retire, you will have 100% of your take-home pay covered, assuming a 3% inflation rate. Now, what's interesting is that works the same whether you're putting the money away pre-tax or after tax. However, if you put the money away after tax in a Roth 401k, you can see here you'll save over $878,000 in taxes just by putting that money in a Roth 401k. Now, let's say you can't start at 25. Let's say you can't start saving until you're 30. We'll take that same $50,000 earner, apply a 3% inflation rate, and now they're making $58,000 a year at 30. Now they have to save 6% of their salary. They get the 4% match. That means they're putting away 10%, and they can successfully retire with a 7% growth rate at age 67 if they take Social Security at their full retirement age. But that's assuming they put it in a Roth. If they stick that money pre-tax because they want to get that tax break now, when they take that money out in retirement, all of it's taxable and 6% won't cut it. You'd have to save 10% of your pay plus that company match of 4% if you put the money away in pre-tax and then pay tax later. Not a good idea. And the difference between putting the money at 6% in the Roth or 10% in the IRA 401k, you have almost $1 million of tax savings by putting the money away. So why wouldn't you put the money away after tax, let it grow tax-free, because you're going to have to put away less and you get more. It just makes sense. Now, let's say that same worker has not saved anything at 25, they haven't saved anything at 30, and they couldn't start saving until they were 40 years old. Now they're making $78,000 a year. Now they have to save 10% of their income in order to retire successfully at age 67 if they put that money in a Roth. If they put the money in a traditional 401k, they have to save 22% of that same salary in order to retire with the exact same income. So you have to put away twice as much, and it's going to cost you over $1 million more in taxes in order to do that. Why? That makes no sense. Put it in the Roth. 10% at 40 until age 67, you can retire with a 7% return in that account. And last but not least, that same individual, they didn't save at 25, they didn't save at 30, they didn't save at 40. They didn't start saving until they were 50 years old. Now, even if you max out your Roth 401k at $30,500 a year, that's not going to be enough. You'd have to put an additional $8,000 into a Roth IRA. So now you're talking almost $40,000 a year savings just to retire at age 67. That same individual only had to save $2,000 a year to retire at 67. Now, because they waited until they're 50, they had to save nearly $40,000 a year. And if they put that money in a traditional 401k, they can't save enough. Between maxing out their IRA and maxing out their 401k, they won't have enough to retire. So the moral of the story is start early and stick it in pre-tax. Now, if you're 30 years old, you're making $100,000 a year, or you're 25 years old and you're making $100,000 a year, you only have to increase that by about 2%. So instead of 4% a year, 6%. If you're 30 years old making 100, instead of 6% a year, 8% will get you to a successful retirement, assuming you put that money away every month throughout your working career. You work until 67 and you take Social Security at your full retirement age. Because as we said, Social Security is going to replace about 45 to 55% of your income, but only if you take it at your full retirement age. And if you're saving, save after tax, tax-free, so you can retire 100% tax-free. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe for future videos. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like me to make a video on. Hit that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I post a new video. And as always, I'll see you next time.